All right, in our last video here, we've got a quadratic function. It says let g of x equal x squared plus 6x plus 3. I want to evaluate the limit as h approaches 0 of g of negative 5 plus h minus, whoops, here's a typo right here. This should be g of negative 5 divided by h. And I'm going to rely on those same 4 steps that I mentioned earlier that we used in the last example. So, step number 1. I'm going to find g of negative 5 plus h and simplify it. So here in this case, it is going to be a little bit more complicated than it was last time. I'm going to look at my function, which is right here. And everywhere I have an x, I'm going to take out that x and replace it with negative 5 plus h. So here I'll have negative 5 plus h quantity squared plus 6 times negative 5 plus h plus 3. And my goal right now is just to simplify this as much as I can. So here for this problem, let's see, I can, to square something means to multiply it by itself. So this really means negative 5 plus h times negative 5 plus h. I'll have to FOIL that out, but I'll do that in the next step. 6 times negative 5, let's see, that's negative 30 plus 6h plus 3. So this piece right here we'll have to FOIL out. Let's see, that will be 25 minus 5h minus 5h plus h squared minus 30 plus 6h plus 3. This is getting pretty long, but at this point we can go ahead and combine our like terms. So let's see, I've got 25 minus 30, that would be negative 5. Negative 5 plus 3, that's negative 2. Negative 5h minus 5h would be negative 10, plus 6, that's minus 4h, and then plus h squared. So I finish up step 1. I've combined all my like terms. I've simplified this as much as I can. I'm ready to move on to step 2. Step 2, kind of 2 parts to it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find g of negative 5. So I'm going to take negative 5 and plug it into, once again, this highlighted function. So that is negative 5 squared plus 6 times negative 5 plus 3. Here I'll have 25 minus 30 plus 3. 25 minus 30, that would be negative 5, plus 3 would be negative 2. And I want to subtract this from what I found in step 1. So I'm going to take what I found in step 1, which is negative 2 minus 4h plus h squared minus negative 2. And just like last time, okay, minus a negative, that's plus a positive. Negative 2 plus 2, those two cancel. I'm left with, in this case, negative 4h plus h squared. Nothing more I can do with this. So we move on to our third step. Our third step, we said, hey, we want to take this and divide it by h. So in step 3, I'm going to take negative 4h plus h squared and divide it by h. So here in this case, again, your goal is to cancel this h in the denominator. I can't do that quite yet, but if I look at my numerator, I can go ahead and factor in h. There's a greatest common factor of h. So let's go ahead and factor that. Leaves me with negative 4 plus h divided by h. And then look at that, those two cancel, leaving me with negative 4 plus h. Again, there's nothing more I can do. So I move on to my fourth and final step right here. I'm going to take the limit of what I found in step 3. So I'm going to take the limit as h approaches 0 of -4 plus h. Here I can just plug 0 in for h. That's -4 plus 0 gives me -4. There's my answer. Is that the same thing I ended up with last time? Oh, -3. Okay. But there we go. That's our answer, is -4. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. There's only a couple questions like this on the homework, but it's good practice because we are going to be seeing a lot of questions that are similar to this once we hit section 2.4.